Hi. Hi. Can you play with me? Yeah. What is your name? Name is Polly. That is a nice name. I'm having fun. Of course you're having fun. I mean, I've never played outside. You're kidding. No. How? I'll tell you, I was little, like 3, and my dad was working and I got hurt. Now I'm a ghost. What? Yeah, I'm a ghost. Everybody doesn't want a friend who is a ghost.
Hey guys, it's Sandpop. Today I will be designing OCs from a book I made when I was 7. I wrote a bunch of editions of Molly and Polly. I used to think that I've always been like this. Even at 7, I was writing that shit down. It's really nostalgic to think that I've always been like this. Like, being creative is to my core. I remember I wrote a lot in elementary. I think I did like 3 or 5 pages a month, and I'd like to say that that's a lot for a 7-year-old. I wasn't like some kid genius, but I had a lot of thoughts and I just needed to put them down. And it's like that today as well. I just have so much thoughts. First page, I wrote a little idea of how I wanted them to look at 7, and I just wanted to tell my 7-year-old self, thank you. That really helped a lot. Just kidding, but I do still have that thought that I had when I was 7 on how they would look. Like, I still know how I wanted them to look, and that is just so cool to me. I'm gonna start off with Molly on the left because she really is the main character, and I just wanted to talk about her first. I really always imagined her as like a rowdy kid who goes outside a lot but is so enthusiastic, and I think that was really based off myself. Imagine her now with pigtails and like her mom does them, but by the end of the day, they're like all messed up, and it gets her mom a little bit upset. I feel like the whole premise of the story is that Polly has been a ghost for a while and she hasn't really put herself out there, and then one day she just decides to go outside. And Molly is so approachable and she's like, yes, I want to be your friend, but Polly doesn't believe that, and so she runs away. That wasn't shown in my cringy rendition in the start of the video. Drew a little bit of lettering on her shorts because that's kind of what me and my sister did as a kid. Like, we probably shouldn't have, but I think that shows kind of like the childness and just the experience as a kid. I wanted her to have some girliness because even though she is rough and active, she still is just a little girl. Likes colorful outfits and she loves making bracelets and beads, and it really genuinely, I do believe that this is based off myself. And it makes sense because even though I did have a lot of stuff in my mind, I didn't have a lot to go after. With Polly, I don't have like such a strong image in my head that I wanted her to look like. I feel like it was always that she was running away, and I imagined her hair to be long and black and like just ghost-like. And I kind of like looked on Pinterest to get some idea because I did have like a slight idea, but I just needed to see something that made it more physical. Wanted them to both have some brownish hair, but I also wanted them to have a known contrast. I think my favorite thing when designing characters really is their clothes when they're more in like a fantasy setting, because then I can just kind of doodle and just put the pencil down and whatever comes really just in my head. I knew that I wanted her to kind of have one of those like white Victorian dresses on, but I also wanted to make it seem like it would just be for a child because she is. On the doodle I made, I put wings on Polly, and I really just wanted to add some subtlety, so I did a wing hair clip. I feel like it adds a little bit more character to her and some originality. Look at Molly Shorts, you'll see my username because I really do enjoy doing that, not hiding my username, but putting it in some place that's a little like fun, I guess. Polly, I did want to make it known that she was a ghost, and so I kind of made her body like disappear at the end so that she's kind of floating. Moving on to the colors, I admit I am bad with colors. I don't know what it is. I just struggle a lot. Like, the end result is good for sure, but getting there, I don't know. It's just hard for me, and I'm working on that. But with Molly, I really just wanted to make it look like she goes out in the sun a lot. On her clothes, I ended up adding a little bit of scruff, a little bit of dirt, just to emphasize that, as well as adding little freckles and just little tiny things. Not sure if it's like shown, but I had an immense time struggling with her right hand. I don't know what it was. Like, I could color everything else okay, you know, but with that hand, it just was so annoying, genuinely. But I liked how her legs looked. Like, I think I really did how like the sun would look on her legs, but her hand, in the coloring process for me, it's really just a hit or miss. And if I'm being real, I miss a lot. I do enjoy like the summertime palette that I have going on, because it really feels like Molly would have picked that out herself. Okay, pausing on that, in the story, when Polly runs away from Molly, Polly goes to her house and Molly runs after her, and I don't know what was going in my brain. Like, I was 7 and I made this shit up and I can still think about it in my brain, but like, Molly comes in and she just sees stairs everywhere, and it's just kind of like this. So when Molly runs in, she's kind of like thrown in the air. Honestly, the only thing that I can think of is that I watched The Labyrinth before, because I loved that shit when I was young. So maybe I just got an idea in my head of that. But I'm reading this and I'm like, 7-year-old me, like, yeah, the room was full of stairs. I like, fuck yeah, bro, go ahead. No, I just really like the design on these. Like, I love them. They're so adorable. But anyways, going back to Polly, surprise, I struggled with her color palette more. I ended up taking a break. Like, I went to bed, and usually that helps. Like, if I go to bed and then I wake up the next morning and I look at it and I'm like, oh, I understand a little bit more. So on this, I added a little bit more baby blue and pink to have some color in there. Like, I wanted her to look like a ghost, but just the white didn't match her vibe. And so I kind of changed that. With her skin, I wanted it to be kind of dull and like tired, because she is dead, she is a ghost. At the end, I kind of just wanted to keep the background playful and simple, because really this wasn't meant to be like a full piece. It was genuinely just character design, and as well as the colors just made like each other bad, and I just was struggling on that, and I'm always struggling on everything. But so I was like, fuck it, no background. And I admit, I keep my characters in like this floating abyss a lot. I can do backgrounds, and I might get into that in another video, but they take a lot of time and it usually burns me out, and I don't know how to balance that quite yet. Alright, so this is pretty much the end of the video. I really enjoyed doing this. I'm really proud of it, honestly. Like, it kind of healed my inner child a little bit, because I genuinely took something I wrote and I made it into life, like 11 years later, and I think that is so sweet and so nice, and I just hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Anyways, like always, tell me what you think, tell me what you feel, and I'll see you next time.